Hello and welcome to Tony Talks. It is Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you all for coming on. For those who watch at a later date, take time to share this out. This may not be for you, but it is for somebody and possibly somebody that you know. So I am Tony Denise Lattimore. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. As you probably know, if you've been watching my channel up to this point. And so I am on today. I wanted to talk about, I know I haven't been on in a few weeks. One week I was sick, and then last week, I don't know, last week kind of flew by. And so I wasn't on. But this week we are talking about as a helper, do not neglect getting help for yourself. And so that's something big that I see as a therapist. There are so many helpers out here, and there's so many helping fields, helping professions. And then, even if you're not in a helping profession, just so many people who are natural born helpers. But even the helper needs help, okay? And so I thought about this because I want to say about a year ago, I thought about returning to therapy. So I have been in therapy probably I tried to count it, probably 6 to 8 times in my life. And, we all have things that we need to work on and things that we need to heal from. So every time something comes up for me, I think about getting back into therapy. And so last year, I thought about getting back into therapy, and there's so much that goes into that. One, I don't have insurance, and so I thought about how much therapy costs. So now I'm thinking from a person who is thinking about entering therapy and the different barriers that they may experience. So, um, yeah, I thought about how much it would cost, how much of a sacrifice it is. And truly, it is a sacrifice, not just paying for it, but also spending your time in therapy with your therapist. But not only that, because I like to think about it like after church. If you go to church or have been to church, it is the implementation of what you have learned, that also is a sacrifice. Okay. So, as a helper, I know that I can be better help to everybody who I service. If I am, the more healed I am, the better I can service those who I service, right? I can help them in a greater way. So I started last year looking for a therapist, and that can be a daunting task. So, shout out to all of you who are in therapy and have been able to find a therapist that fits you. Because that therapeutic piece is so important. Having that proper fit of you and the therapist. So I sought that out. I reached out to several therapists, and I apologize on behalf of therapists because I didn't get a response from, I think I reached out to maybe 3 people. One reached back out to me, and it was not a good fit. So, kind of was discouraging. And so, I'm encouraging you all, if you are seeking therapy, I don't want to say do not be discouraged, because I was discouraged and did not go to therapy last year. But if you get to that space and you know you need the help, push, right? Continue to push. Try and reach out to more therapists. I honestly say, because therapy is such a big thing now, so many people go to therapy now, and therapists are, a lot of them are booked. Reach out to approximately 5 or 6 therapists. You probably will get one or two who will reach back out, and hopefully one of them will be a fit. Okay, so That's what happened to me last year. But I am happy to say I am so excited that I am starting therapy next week again. As I said, the helper, as a helper, you also need, I also need help. I'm going to speak for myself that I also need help. So there are things that I still have to work on. And as I work with people, I end up attracting new, different types of people to me. And so I want to be able to service in the best possible way. The best possible way is for me to be as healed as possible. So I am grateful that I have found a therapist of whom I have a great rapport with. It's a great fit, and I will be starting next week. So I stop here to say to you all, like, it's a sacrifice. As I said, I do not have insurance, so I'm paying out of pocket. I love to shop. That is one thing I absolutely love to do. But when I knew I started to see things inside of myself that I needed to work on, I had to tell myself, what's more important? Is it more important for you to continue to shop and have a closet full of clothes and not improve on yourself, right? I want to be what I model or what I tell my clients I am. Okay. I'm not going to say I want to be, because I am practicing what I'm telling my clients. So I tell my clients how important therapy is, and not just therapy, but to do the work of therapy. So it's one thing to come to therapy, but it's also an after part of doing the work. So there's a lot that goes into that, but I am so excited. I'm just excited um, to get to another space within myself, to learn myself at a degree of which I have not known, to really see myself in a different light. I'm just believing that therapy at this stage of my life, where I am now and what I'm going to work on, is something extremely difficult for me. And it's childhood trauma. We all, not we all, but a lot of people have experienced childhood trauma. And for a long time, I have avoided it. And so I am no longer avoiding it. um, I just like to be the model that I tell others to do. If I'm going to tell you to do it, then I'm going to do it as well. So now I will be facing those things from my childhood that I have avoided for a while. And next week begins an amazing journey for me. I am now in a space of openness. I'm in a place of acceptance. I'm in a place of wanting to be better and actually putting the work in to become better. So, just letting you know, if you are a helper, you need help as well. And don't neglect that. Even through the sacrifice, I have to pay out of pocket. I have to sacrifice not shopping, and I've been doing very well. Today is the seventh day. Typically, by now, I would have bought quite a few items, and I'm happy to say that I've only bought one thing, which is amazing for me. And that's because I decided to make this sacrifice of becoming better, becoming healed and whole. Okay, so paying out of pocket, time out of my schedule, doing the work that comes with it, because I love doing the homework, because that is what actually helps you. It helps to instill what you talk about within the session. All right. And so, if you take nothing else away from this, if you are a helper, don't neglect getting the help, the necessary help that you need. Sometimes it's hard asking for help, and that can be a part of trauma as well. What I see with a lot of my clients is it is difficult for those who have had some childhood trauma to ask for help. And so I am learning, I am really working hard in this part of my journey in life of just doing things differently than I have. I know that I am not an island. I know that I need people. I know that other people have what I need, right? So why would I not accept help from other people? So, if you are in a space where you've been contemplating, oh, I need help, but I don't know how to ask. That can be very difficult when you haven't had to ask. I have, I would say, basically parented myself um, for my whole life, pretty much. And so doing that means that I have depended upon myself for so many things. And a person like that, it makes it very difficult to ask. First of all, it's building trust. It's believing in other people. And I know that if I'm trustworthy, then there are some other trustworthy people. And like attracts like. So if I need help, I am learning to ask for help. I am learning to not only ask, but when I ask, to be open to it. Because that's another thing from what I see in other people as well as in myself. Being able to accept the fact that you need help. Sometimes it can be a pride thing, that you don't feel like you need help, and we all need help in some area. I don't care who you are, from the president on down, needs help. So don't be afraid. And even if you are afraid, ask for the help that you need. Somebody out here has it. And you'll find that it becomes easier once you start down that path of knowing that, you know, um, I cannot do all things. I cannot be a therapist to myself. And so I know that I have to trust somebody else. Just as when clients come to me, they trust me, I have to do the same thing. I cannot be one who tells you to do something. I'm not a hypocritical person. So seek out the help, continue to ask for help. When you see yourself get stuck or get to a place where you may not know a thing, don't be afraid to seek and ask other people. You may be in groups in Facebooks. There is so much knowledge and wisdom out here that people are sharing. Everybody not gatekeeping, right? So there are spaces where people are sharing knowledge and wisdom, and a lot of times, a person may not give it if it's not asked for. So, if you are in groups like on Facebook, that's a good place to really grow and really be able to ask for some things that you may need. They're most times maybe smaller groups, and you may feel more comfortable as you get to know the different group members to be able to ask. So start in places where it's easier for you to start. Don't start in the hard space. Hard space may be asking, I don't know, your boss for something. Start small and work your way up. So if you're in a group on Facebook and it is a very, question friendly type of group, don't be afraid or ashamed to ask what it is that you may need, what question you may have. If they don't have the information, one thing I know about a good leader, and I'm learning to become a good leader will lead you to, or even help guide you, or give you the information that you need. But if you don't ask for it, how are you going to get it? So, as a helper, don't neglect yourself from getting the help that you need. All right? Continue. I want to leave you all with something that I learned on today. I am on a John Maxwell kick. I don't know. I go through these spaces where there are people who I gravitate towards learning from. Um, there's so many, Myron Golden. Now I'm on the John Maxwell. E.T., Eric Thomas. There's so many different ones that I gravitate towards, but right now it's John Maxwell. And I want to leave you with these 5 pointers, habits, daily habits. And this is what I am really working on in growth, in my own personal growth. And one is learn every day, read something. And I didn't say read for 2 hours. I didn't say read for whatever length of time, but every day read something. Learn something you didn't know. We all have a space to continue to learn and grow. Number two is to reflect on just different things that you have already learned. Evaluate what is it that I have learned and how can I implement this in my life. Number three is write something. And writing is, it plays two different roles. What John Maxwell said on today is writing can actually capture and then also clarify a thought. And when he said these things, I realized that I was doing a lot of these just naturally. This is something that naturally comes to me. When I have a thought, I may write it on Facebook. And that goes into number four of what he said, share, right? Share what you learn. Why gatekeep and hold this information for yourself? What sharing does is help expand your thoughts. Because a lot of times, if I share it, somebody may comment, and then I start thinking about it in a different way. So, sharing helps to expand what you're already thinking about, and then another thought may come about, and that continues to help you to do number five, which is to grow. So he talked about continuing to work on whatever it is that you have learned. So, whatever thought, whatever experience, whatever you have already learned, continue to grow. And that's by reflecting, that is by sitting down, taking some time to really process what it is that you have already learned, and doing something different sometimes. Um, looking from a different perspective or a different lens. And that's why, as I think about it, one reason I like to learn from different people. So, like I said, it might be Myron Golden today, it might be John Maxwell, but they teach at higher levels than where I'm at. And that helps me to grow and expand. All right. All righty. So, topic of the day was, as a helper, don't neglect getting the help that you need. And I just dropped 5 tips that were given to me. I shared it out as I was taught on today. So, one, learn. Two, reflect. Three, write. Four, share. And then five, grow. Try doing these 5 things, make them a daily habit, do them every day for 30 days, and see what your result is. I'm starting my journey on that today, and I will come back and I will share what I have learned, and hopefully, you will share what you have learned. And then that will spread throughout the world, right? We got to learn how to share. We have to learn how to continue to grow and build on what we already know. We will never stop learning unless we stop learning, right? Learning is intentional. So be intentional about learning, be intentional about helping yourself, especially if you are a helper. All right? I will be back on next week, one day, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, just giving you more pointers, more things that I have learned. I'm all about sharing and helping you. Please like and subscribe to the channel so that when I go live, I can share more mind altering messages with you. All right, until next week, have a wonderful week and don't forget to practice the 5 daily habits. And then, if you are seeking a therapist, I am licensed in Florida, Illinois, and Indiana, and I would be happy to sit with you for a moment, have a consultation to see if there is a fit there so I can help you on your healing journey, just as I am taking my own healing journey. All right, until next week, enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.